Do you feel macam um, your job has been
Threatened?
yeah
Something like that?
threatened?
Yeah. So
In today's topic, we're gonna be touching on the truth about programmers or software engineering. And I have with me coach for software engineering, Awang. And without further ado, please introduce yourself to the audience because we want to know what's your name and what do you do, basically as a coach.
okay, so my name is Awang Hafizuddin, and I'm currently the coach for software engineering at Elevate Academy here in Sabah. And I teach programming and coding to people of all ages and different backgrounds. I teach different topics when it comes to programming from beginner to intermediate level. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do for now.
So I want to know what language do you use?
Right now, the programming language that I mainly use is Ruby and sometimes a little bit of Python, and I think also some JavaScript a little bit here and there.
Between those three, which one yang you've already mastered, yang kind of mastered lah?
I think if I were to rank it from 1 to 3, which ones that I've already mastered, I think the one that I have the most experience with is Python, and then second would be Ruby, and I think the last one would be JavaScript, at least for me.
Is it because people say that Python is macam the command yang we use is like it's easier compared to other macam other languages. Is it like a lot different atau macam only some part of it?
For me, if you've seen some programming languages like C++ and Java or some other what people say are strongly typed languages where they are sometimes hard to read and sometimes hard to understand, Python and also Ruby are different when it comes to how the code is written. It's as if you're reading an actual English sentence. It's like you're reading what you wrote for the computer to understand. It's not typing some random computer jargon or something like that.
I assume that you like coding. Is coding something that you've always wanted to do? Is it something yang you're passionate about, or you have something else like?
When I was younger, back in primary school, I've always been fascinated about stars, the things in space like planets, galaxies, and everything. Pretty much all about the universe. So all I ever wanted was to be an astronaut or at least something related to astronomy like NASA or something. But as I grew up and I went into secondary school, I just sort of shifted my interest. Like I mean, I still like things about space, but now I'm more into computer stuff, tech and everything IT related. So I just continued to pursue it and I went to university and here I am.
Do you consider yourself as a tech enthusiast?
I would say so. Definitely yes.
I still remember last time, I think when I was 5, I think my first dream job was to become a cashier.
A cashier.
Because I want, because I'm so like into the machines and how like, and macam I'm amazed how how fast the hands yang dorang tekan-tekan semua tekan. Macam, okay, I want to become one day.
That's amazing.
Okay, the truth. Is it true that it's hard to study programming or to be a software engineer?
Just like learning any skills, it's like when you're actually interested and you really want to get into it, it shouldn't be too hard because there's always that drive to like motivate you to keep on learning and learning even if you fail a few times. But I mean, that's just the norm in life, right? There's always some ups and downs when it comes to learning new things. So it's kind of hard, but at the same time, it's not. So I don't know how I would explain it, but to me,
in a
eh,
in an easier way to understand, macam if you're passionate about that stuff, it shouldn't be that hard lah kan. I mean,
Yeah.
of course there's like macam there are ups and downs learning this stuff, tapi it shouldn't be that hard. But I just want to know from your experience, from the scale of 1 to 10, what would you give? How hard can it be?
How hard can it be? In my experience, at least for me myself, I don't know what's it for
Other
orang
people.
lain. For me, I think how hard it is, I think it's about 5, 6, something like that. Yeah,
Uh,
somewhere in the middle.
People say that all programmers, mostly, I don't know, but I read some on the internet. They say programmers are nerdy and introverted. What's your comment? Do you agree or disagree?
It's hard for me to say for most programmers, but from what I can remember back in university, my batch in particular, like 90% of us were introverted and nerdy. I wouldn't say nerdy, but most of us were definitely introverted. I'm confident about that.
Di- But you met someone yang the opposite lah, yang very
I
outgoing but still.
I don't think so. I think I think some of us ada yang talkative, but there's still I can still see that they're introverted. They still prefer some me time. They don't really macam really outgoing like talk to
Yeah.
people out of the blue like that.
They're macam choosy lah with the people yang
Yeah.
they are talkative.
It's more like they're comfortable to interact with other people, socialize compared to the rest of us. Now that I think of it, I think I know one person or two that are very outgoing yang selalu go on stage and like become the MC or macam host some sorts of event. Maybe just a small percentage of us lah, but not many.
Yeah, you guys know what? Before I say something, it's already like a few minutes ago. I forgot to mention that Ice Cream Podcast, as usual, we're supposed to talk over the ice cream. So we have our ice cream. Let's talk over the ice cream again, because I forgot to mention it earlier just now. So my bad. You haven't met one young software engineer, but the opposite, young extroverted. You haven't met one.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't, at least from what I can remember.
So I guess the statement that has been put on the internet.
It's quite true. It's actually true. I can't deny that. I definitely can't deny that.
Because you yourself consider yourself.
Very much. I very much consider myself introverted and nerdy.
What are the other things that you've heard? People talking about programmer.
There's always this one thing that I keep hearing from people all over in the internet or even in real life, back in my hometown or even
That
here.
is it like true or like is it like true or false? Yeah.
It's not quite, I don't think so, it's true. But what I always hear about programmers and software engineers in general is people tend to think we're basically geniuses or something like that. Like these kinds of people are inhuman. They're just so smart that at least that's what I hear. But that's not really the case actually. I mean, it's just another skill. I mean, I could say a painter or a music producer are also geniuses because I would never come up with creative content such as music or those beautiful paintings.
Either that atau also asal yang study computer science kan macam yang like my sister, because she studied in university before as IT students. I forgot what's the major, but my parents, I still remember, our printer rosak for our PCs. Terus dia kan panggil, coba aku kasih fix dulu nih.
Yung printer? Ada masalah to printer?
But do you experience that?
Always, always, always. Even when I go back to my grandparents or hometown, just my family lah. Selalu macam, boleh ka tolong fix to TV? Boleh tolong, kenapa ni printer hindi mau?
Bukan semua programmers like, yalah dia orang software engineer tapi Bukan jodoh tahu betul nga itu TV segala. Awas. Do you agree or disagree that programming is not for everyone?
It's currently the golden era of the digital world. Like, it's so rapidly changing, it's so evolving. Like, in my opinion, it should be for everyone lah. Macam one day you might need to learn it eventually. Macam it's something that at least I predict that it will happen in the future lah.
I feel like it's already happening now. Macam,
Yeah, fair point.
okay, how do you feel? How do you feel? Because like, can you guys build website with coding? Basically, you need to code to build a website. But how do you feel the existence of like platform like Wix where you don't have to code? Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you feel much your job has been
Threatened?
Yeah,
Something like that? Yeah. So it's like I think this also applies to other job fields. Macam even though there are online no-code website builder platforms like Wix, Squarespace, and there's Webflow, WordPress, right? Where you don't even have to write any code to make a professional website. But when it comes to big companies, big corporations, some of them need very, very specific web apps. So
like very complex?
yeah, very complex features. They need to add this, they need to add that, they need to have some special sort of database or some special security function or something like that. So I don't think I feel that threatened, but
Adalah sikit.
adalah sedikit because it could change anytime. Like they could probably make something a lot more powerful than Wix or WordPress, and
It
who
could
knows?
be like even the existence of ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
I wish ChatGPT exists when I was in uni.
Yes, yes.
I would have gotten like fall flat.
It will have been so much easier.
Programming is like solving puzzle or yala, basically
Yeah.
problem solving puzzles. Do you agree? Do you agree or disagree?
I would agree because that's pretty much 100% what the things we do because we basically have this one problem that we want to solve, then we have to like break it down to different parts. It's like having a huge jigsaw puzzle and then just having to figure out which piece goes where and how it all comes together.
And then when you thought like it's already finished, kan, and you just realize there's one missing piece.
Yes, or it could be like you have a different piece and then it sort of fits but it doesn't.
Yeah. And then okay, it's either that ataupun yang you have one missing piece, then you couldn't find anywhere. It must have been dropped somewhere.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels when it comes to programming.
I've seen a lot of memes on Google and Pinterest and Pinterest semua. But I saw some of the comments macam dia cakap Google is your besties. Why?
The saying that people always say like Google's your best friend when it comes to programming, it's although it makes us sound like we're lazy, like everything we do we have to open up Google and type away and look for information. But there's actually a very good reason for that. It's because the world as we see right now, like I said earlier, it changes really really fast. All the technology just keeps updated and gets released. If we were to rely more on static literacies macam books kan, it would be difficult because let's say I'm reading this book and then I want to make this app and then all of a sudden macam they release an update to it, so it just became useless the moment I finished with it. So it's better to just open up Google and find more information about it.
People say that you should learn one programming language at a time.
You don't have to apply that just for programming. It's like learning two languages at the same time can be confusing. Like for example, Japanese and Mandarin there's kanji, right? They have similar characters and macam it could be confusing lah. So it also applies to programming. Macam it's not forbidden or macam it's a bad thing to learn multiple languages at the same time, but if you can manage it, that's great. Macam if you can learn a lot of languages in a short time, that's really amazing. So macam
It depends on your capability.
yeah, it depends on if you can, if you want to, if you macam have time, then sure, why not?
I want to know, how stressful can it be to work as a programmer?
Stressful.
From the scale of 1 to 10.
A scale of 1 to 10. I think it's a solid 8 or 7 or something. It can be quite a bit stressful, actually.
I think every job is like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the job itself, but there is definitely some minor things in the profession itself yang macam cause stress kan. It's also the same with programming lah. Macam the job itself is fun, but like the jigsaw
you're into
example,
it.
yeah, when you're into it. But macam if there's a little bit of masalah sikit sini, why my code not running? Why this not running? When that
Belum lagi masuk yang probably that day is not your day. Yang
belum lagi yang
tiba-tiba your brain malfunction a bit.
itulah, it's stressful, yes, but I mean, just like any other profession, it's pretty much the same.
As of now, things that you've learned when you were in uni, how many % has it helped you in your career? Like now.
If I were to give a percentage, I think the things I learned in university, only about 55% that's actually came of help for me right now.
Well, that's a lot.
Eh.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I just want to say thank you for being here, for willing to be one of our guests, one of my guests. We'll be having short, fun session right after this, and you may watch that on our TikTok. See you in the next episode.
That's not even closely programming related, but
Okay.
okay.